Materials are doing a lot. They entertain us, they seduce us, they challenge us.
What are the effects hiervan? Keep innovating. Don't expire.
I'm Gijs Bruining. I'm a member of the TU Delft solar boat team. And, well, I'm planning to tell you everything about the design of highly efficient vessels. So, as you can see, this is not a highly efficient vessel. We have a big energy problem in this world, and transport on the water is contributing a big factor to that. So, that's why we have the TU Delft solar boat team. The TU Delft solar boat team is, as you can see, a team of about 30 students. We're very enthusiastic, and we are trying to build the most efficient solar boat. So this is an example of a solar boat. This was back in 2006, and the concept is very simple. What we try to do is we simply have a boat, and then we get some solar panels on top, and we go as fast as possible on the energy that is available. But of course, this energy is limited, as everything. So what we try to do is make this boat as efficient as possible. So we try to do, we try to use as little energy as possible. So then the question is, where do we spend our energy? And that's on drag. So drag is very similar to biking into the wind, or the force you feel when you stick your hand out of the window. And the biggest part of our drag is due to the water. So how could we solve this? Well, for example, what we could do is we just lift the boat out of the water. Well, we saw another presentation earlier today that also did that, and there are multiple examples of boats that can do that. This is an example from the 1960s. So these were Navy ships, and they were already quite good at it. And these Navy ships mainly did it just to have high speed. Well, this is an example of us from 2012. As you can see, we are mounting wings underneath the boat to lift the entire boat out of the water. So it's just like an airplane, only with smaller wings that we can put underwater. And that reduces our drag dramatically. But then the question is, well, how many hydrofoils would you use to have the minimum drag? So this one uses 3, that one is like 20, I don't know, and that one is, 3, and there's another 3. But what's the minimum that you could use? Well, we thought that the minimum, yeah, it could be 0, but then it's not really good, but the minimum could be 2. But then everybody says, no, 2, that's way too little. If you have a table with 2 legs, then it will just fall over. That's stupid. Well, I tend to agree, the table indeed does fall over. But we thought, well, there are other vehicles that also uses 2 supporting points, and they are still stable. An example of this is a bicycle, and I found this adoring picture. But what you can see is that she is keeping stable in a dynamic way. She is steering in the way she falls, and that's very, very good of her. And that is also the way we keep our boat stable. So it's very similar to, for example, if you try to hold up a broomstick. The way it falls, I have to, now it's very hard for me to do this, of course. I have to move the point of support underneath the center of gravity, and in that way I can keep stable in a dynamic way. And that's also how a bicycle does this. So I didn't know there was a bicycle here, but it's very nice that they put it there. But you can see the principle right here. This was in 2016, when we had heavy crosswinds. As you can see there, the water was all foaming up, and yet we were still able to sail straight ahead by leaning into the wind, just like a bicycle. And this way we could sail in a stable way. Then there's the problem of how high do you fly? So for example, an airplane, it just takes off, and then at 10,000 feet it says, well, this is about right. But in our case, we can do that, of course. What we have to do is we have to stay within some strict limits to not get our propeller out of the water or just have our boat into the water. So what we use is we use a height control system. This height control system measures the distance to the water, and then it adjusts the front wing. And it only has to adjust the front wing because we have a canard configuration, so most of the weight is on the back wing. So this front wing is very, very light to actuate. Well, this is the example from 2014. This was the first year that we did this, and as you can see, we flew really high, and it worked, well, kind of okay. For most of the time we were stable, but it wasn't quite perfect. So in 2016, we reiterated, we rethought the design, we really went to modeling our dynamics, and this boat is up to now our most stable boat. This one is able to sail in heavy crosswinds on Monaco. In almost every condition that's reasonable for its strut length, it was able to perform. But then is the question, how efficient is this boat? Because we are striving for efficiency. So if we take a Damen fast crew supplier that has 1,361 horsepower and it can achieve a speed of 55 kilometers an hour, that's also the top speed of our boat. And if we take this dinghy, it has about 10 horsepower, there and about in a good day. That's also about the power that we use at the same speed. So to reiterate, we can go the speed of this support vessel at the power of this very low weight boat. Then long distance. So this is the Dutch trading company route, the VOC route in Dutch, and it's about 22,000 kilometers long. So what would happen if we would take this Damen fast crew supplier and we would have the efficiency of our boat in there? How long would you think, or how far would you think this boat can travel on its fuel tanks? It turns out this boat can go to the West Indies and back on one fuel tank. So I think that's quite incredible. So we hope that the future will look something like this, not this polluting cruise ship, but on hydrofoils, going along, not, not having this much pollution, and have a bright future for us all. Thanks.